of inequality in the U.S. was inspired by a blog post on The Economist that compared U.S. states to countries according to GDP. And I wanted to go beyond that because to me, GDP is just an indicator of economic growth and income, but not of larger things that are also determinative, in some ways more determinative, of your ability to live a fulfilling life. And those include health, so like life expectancy, and educational achievement, as well as income. So I basically used two data sets. The primary data set that people use to measure development and quality of life is the UN Human Development Index, which the UN calculates every year for every country. And then there's another research center in the US that calculates it for every state. And I just equated them using some math and visualized it using Choropath Map and JavaScript, so mainly leaflet.js. Which is a geo visualization library. But basically, you can zoom in a little bit, and you can pick a state, just mouse over one, and it will show you in the top right-hand corner the state and its HDI on a scale from 0 to, really actually the scale is from 0.7 to 1, a little bit over 1. And the closest country match globally. So you can kind of have a thought experiment. And here we can find Alaska, which is actually very close to Australia, even though vastly different weather. Hawaii, which has a very close quality of life to Norway. And actually 19 different states are matched with Norway because the Norway is the highest quality of life in the world, ranked number 1 above Australia, and then the U.S., which is actually just 3rd. And the only state that's actually really representative of the U.S. is Utah. But then we look down here at all these letter colors, and these represent lower HDIs and less opportunity to have education and lower life expectancies as well as lower incomes. And, some of these are quite shocking. So we can look at Mississippi, which is the lowest HDI in the U.S. And closest match is Tonga, which is actually number 90-something globally. That's surprising to me because here we have the top 19 states in the U.S., which are almost half of the U.S., have a better quality of life than the best country in the world, Norway. And then the worst state, according to this measurement in the U.S., has a quality of life equivalent to Tonga, a small island nation that has a worse quality of life than half of the world. So that gap is massive. And then you can some of these also have shock value, right? To think that, Louisiana is most similar to Libya, or that growing up in Alabama is like growing up in Kazakhstan. To me, Kazakhstan and Norway, bring up totally different images. And Libya definitely as well, right? So it's very striking. I mean, this is not a perfect comparison. These are all methodologies that are not scientifically proven. They're all social science. There's always a degree of uncertainty and variance, and even how this information is collected. But it's an interesting way of thinking about how people who grow up in different states in the U.S. actually face extremely different life experiences by placing it in sharper perspective, by putting it on relating it to a global scale. Because really there is a vast difference between how half the country lives and the rest of the lower half of the country lives. Some people grow up in the U.S. and essentially grow up in a developing country, and then a lot of people grow up in the U.S. and they have more opportunity to pursue the American dream because they actually have a higher ability or higher quality of life or opportunity for a higher quality of life than almost anyone else in the world. So anyways, but yes, technically you can zoom in and this will change. You can drag, so you can move to find these other states that are not contiguous. But that's the basic functionality of the website. Thanks.